audiences, as it contains graphic descriptions of sexual situations, adult dialogue, strong language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. 3 wardrobe changes later. My name is Keiko Puffs, and today I'm going to be doing a little video for you where I'll be getting ready. Since I'm doing a more simple look, I'm also going to do my skincare because it won't take me as long to do the makeup, and I do need some time. So everything that all the products that I'll be using, I'll either try and put on the screen as I'm using them, or I will put them in the description box down below. We'll see how that goes. But anywho, these are gonna be my top 5 Wattpad stories. One of them is a paid story, so if you feel like my opinion is valid enough to go out and buy the story or pay to read the story, then by all means, love, go ahead, because I actually think it might be worth it. So yes, we're gonna start with that one. Actually,
No. Let's
backtrack. We're gonna start with the one that I don't like the most. I like the original, but the author decided to do a rewrite. So this one is called O Muerta. I think that's how you pronounce it. It is about the Italian mafia and how they swear this girl to secrecy. Now, I will touch on why I don't like the rewrite, and it's very simple. It sucks. She had a decently strong female protagonist who was like super duper independent while being quirky, and I loved it. Like, she wasn't a typical character that you see in the, or that you read about in these types of stories. Lord, I hope this turns out better than the other ones. I don't know if she kept their names the same, so I'm just gonna refer to the 2 characters as female protagonist and male protagonist. The rewrite, I didn't like how ditzy and kind of like airheaded that they made the female protagonist in the rewrite, which her name is Annabelle. She's not as funny. Her jokes don't hit the same. Maybe I'm just salty because like it was rewritten and I didn't have any say in this. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about the OG, which I liked so much, and I'm sorry that this is on my list of my top 5 and y'all can't go and read it. Maybe you guys can read the rewrite and maybe you like it, because honestly I like her writing style, even though like there's like grammatical errors in there, you know, which a lot of these have because they are self-published, written, and edited. I can see past certain grammatical errors, like to an extent. Some people, y'all, my next looks and books and looks, Lord knows I will go in on that one. Wait, did I introduce myself?
Lord, I hope this turns out better than the other ones.
Like, the rewrite was not horrible. I just didn't like it. It wasn't a me story. I wouldn't have read it originally had it been written like this, because the original, like, the girl was so independent and, you know, she stood her ground. She wasn't like, listen, she was like, listen, I know, you know what, sir, you're not gonna like take me and kidnap me, even though he did. And like, but what is it called when like you fall in love with your kidnapper? That's Stockholm syndrome. I think it's Stockholm. And then when you fall in love with your savior, I forgot what it's called, but I think that's what it is. Well, I'll put it on the screen, okay, somewhere. But anyway, so they end up falling in love, and I like the way that they end up falling in love because it's not forced. whereas in the rewrite it seems forced because they had a prior tryst. The original, they didn't have that, and like it just somehow happened, like it naturally happened where they started caring for each other. But in the rewrite, they had a one-night stand, and like he's like, oh, I love your body or whatever. Like, it was so stupid. Okay, honestly, I think that's all that I want to talk about that one, because I don't want to waste too much time on one that y'all can't read. Just know OG was that ish. So good. So moving on to the next story we're going to talk about, I think is my favorite, but this one is a paid story, and I think it's worth it. As far as paid stories go, I honestly think that it is worth the purchase and it is worth the read, because this writer, author, this girl, her name is Kim. She has two accounts. She has her more like safe for everyone to read account, which I'm pretty sure is Kimberly, and I think it's her. I might be incorrect. I could be incorrect. I feel myself being incorrect. But she also has Kanye Interrupted Me. And y'all, when I tell you, this girl, I have invested so much time into her stories just because they're that good. So this one is called Jake the Panty Ripper, and I feel like it might have been my first Wattpad story that I really read and like invested time in. And y'all, it is that good. I've read it multiple times before it was a paid story, and then after it was a paid story, I continued to read it. After it was a paid story, I continued reading it, just like the parts that it would allow me to. And it's just so good. So it is about this girl, her name is Maya, and a guy named Jake. Clearly, he's the panty ripper. He's in the title. And their love story, I look effing crazy, I know. But anyway, it is their story, and the story opens up with Maya, who's a nurse who works at a nursing home, going to the Seton County jail to see Jake, forgetting his name, because she needs to tell him something very, very sad. And that thing that she needs to tell him is that his mom passed away, and she knows that because she works at the nursing home that his mom was staying in, and she had dementia. So like, she was his mom's caretaker basically. It's her first time really seeing him since the tragic, since the tragic loss of her cousin Ella, who was Jake's girlfriend. Jake's girlfriend. So he asks her, does his brother Baron know? And she's like, no, I couldn't get in contact with him. I tried, but I couldn't get in contact. And he tells her to contact Ghost, who is the president of the motorcycle club, the Phantoms. She doesn't want to associate herself with these biker gang dudes, which I'm pretty sure that's what she calls them, because she's like, they ruined my life, they took my cousin away from me, because she got like tangled in their web of whatever. She was dating one of them, blah blah blah. So, but she's like, I need to get this message across to Baron, so I'll do it, because she saw Sharon Ford, their mother, as like a second mom to her, because or a third mom, I should say, because not only did she lose her parents when she was younger, but then her aunt ultimately died as well, so she really had nobody. And that being said, Sharon Ford saw Maya. Also, guys, I'm sorry if you hear noise in the background. I'm not home alone. But Sharon Ford sees Maya as like the daughter she never had. She had two sons. I forgot the camera cuts off every 10 to 13 minutes. So now I remember. Okay, this wasn't there before. So she tells Jake, she's like, Jake, when you get out, you need to get your life together and you need to take care of my Maya, because she has nobody. I was the last person that she had. Even though Maya has her best friends, her two best friends, Kyra, we're gonna call her Kyra because I like that name better. Kyra and Luke, which, let's be honest, oh, and she has her boyfriend, but Kim developed Kyra and Luke more than she developed Sebastian, which I like, because F Sebastian, I don't like him. And I'm getting really, really close to my mirror because my eyes are so bad. Jake hands the letter to Maya and he's like, you should see this. And she's like, no, I don't want to invade that. Like, that's your mom's last words to you. Like, that should be like held personal. He's like, you should see it. So she reads the letter and she sees that and she's like, oh, no, buddy, because I don't like you. I don't want you anywhere near me with all your club drama and your mess and your life. So yeah, the story skips ahead 3 years to when Jake gets out, and I don't know why my camera just stopped at 3 minutes. Well, last I checked it was 3 minutes, so if it's stopping at every 4 minutes, we're gonna have some issues. Anywho, so my makeup bag. Jake is like, you know what? Whatever, bro. I'll respect your wishes or whatever. Not really, but you know. And so he's like, I'm gonna do what my mom told me to do because my mom told me to take care of you. So,
oh, I'm gonna do that anyway. I'm gonna do that anyway because that's how I am.
okay, so Maya goes to the rec and she's like kind of walking without thinking. Ouch, mama. She's walking without thinking and then she just realizes that that's where she ended up going. And so she starts drinking, which apparently she doesn't do either. Okay, Miss Goody Two Shoes. You don't swear, you don't drink, whatever. But anyway, she starts drinking and getting loose, having fun, having a great, jolly, dandy old time. Hold on, I can't do liner while I'm talking. Okay. And like, homegirl is not dressed to be at this nightclub bar place. She is wearing a church marathon shirt. Like, she shouldn't be there. Anyway, she realizes where she is and she's dancing with these guys. She's getting drunk, she's getting loose, and Jake is like, girl, what the are you doing here? You know, take your happy ass home. So she's like, Sebastian and I got in an argument and I just don't want to think about it right now. I just want to drink and have a jolly old dandy good time. And Jake is like, okay, so they're like dancing with each other and whatever. I think he asked her like, do you want me to fight this guy? And she's like, no, don't fight my boyfriend. That's my boyfriend, don't fight him. Or whatever, for him. And this is when everything like just starts to happen. I just want y'all to know, this story, this author, like, I will be doing like a lot more reviews on her stories because I just love them. Like, even her shorter ones, this one's a longer one, even her shorter ones, I freaking love. They're just so well written, and I'm like pretty sure I have not run into any grammatical errors in her story, and if I have, they're so like few and far between that they're not even memorable. Some of these other ones, like, yeah, they're memorable. Omerta, yeah, memorable. Omerta, memorable, but these ones, not. Moving on, we're gonna do the next story while I struggle again. We're gonna talk about Her Saving Grace. This one is really good as well. I feel like it's really well written too. And this one is it's a fantasy one. And y'all, I'm not into fantasies. I don't care for the the alpha stories, I really don't care for the alpha stories. I feel like once you read one, you've read all of them, because they're all the same. They are literally all the same. That thing with me died with my first reading of Twilight. Like, I don't care for it. But this one is different. It's called Her Saving Grace, and it surrounds Damon, Grace, and Catherine. I don't remember Catherine's last name. I could look at my notes, but I'm a little preoccupied. These chapters in this one are a little bit, they're a little bit shorter, which I kind of like and I kind of don't like. I have my thing. I like reading longer chapters because I feel like I'm getting more out of the story when I'm reading longer chapters, and there's long chapters and it's a shorter story, whereas like a shorter story with longer chapters I'm not like here for, kind of, in a way. But so these have shorter chapters. The story opens up Catherine on a dinner date with her soon-to-be ex-boyfriend Griffin. We're gonna call him Griffin because he's very insignificant to the story. So she confronts him about having sex with her sister, which it wouldn't be the first time that her sister has done this. And I'm telling y'all right now, if my sister ever did this to me one time, I'm never talking to my sister ever again. But her sister did it to her 3 times apparently. So Catherine is just too nice. We're gonna call her Cat just for the sake of saying Catherine is too much. So Cat, like, she's so distraught and so upset and so shocked and appalled that Jared would ever do this to her. And so she's praying to God and asking God, like, please just send me a distraction, anything to help take my mind off of this. Like, I'm not doing well with this. And she goes to a liquor store. She starts drinking. Well, no, she goes to the liquor store and buys a bottle of wine for her tonight, or that night, so that she can drink her pain and sorrows away. And as she's walking out of the liquor store, not looking, como una pendeja, she almost gets hit by this brow is so long. She almost gets hit by a motorcycle that doesn't have its headlights on. And she's like, bro, watch where you're going. And he's like, no, my dude, you watch where you're going because you didn't look both ways before you crossed the street, trying to get yourself killed. And so she's like, whatever, insignificant. So she goes to sleep that night drunk off her booty. And when she wakes up in the morning, she's like walking around like a normal day, and she hears somebody rummaging in the kitchen, and she sees like this shirtless guy. And she's like, oh my God, somebody broke into my apartment and is rummaging through my kitchen. And so he's like, I'm your roommate. And she's like, I don't have a roommate. I don't know who the hell you are, but you're not my roommate and you got to go.
Here, the fucker's got to go. Go. The fucker's got to go.
And so like they're arguing about whether or not he's her roommate. She's like, I don't have one. Impossible, you need to get out. And then her landlady, we're gonna call her, I don't know, she's like, she comes up to their apartment and she's like, are you okay? Like, I heard a lot of noise up here. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm not okay. This random guy just decided he was gonna come into my apartment and claim it as his. And she's like, oh no, that's Damon. And homegirl's like, who's Damon? Don't know him, never heard of him. He can't be in here, you gotta kick him out. And the landlady's like, no, this isn't your place, you don't own it, he's staying in here. And she's like, what? You can't just like give me a roommate. I didn't ask for this. And she's like, I trust Damon with my life. So that being said, I trust Damon with your life. Crazy, I know. So that's how that ends. And let me tell y'all, I love the story of Damon and Kat. Like, I I love the conflicts that they have. They're just very well written, developed characters, and you'll hear me talk about like in this series, like developing your characters. Character development is such a huge thing. I can't invest in a story where the two main people in said story are poorly, I don't want to use that brush, are poorly developed. I don't think anybody can for that matter. So if you're gonna give me a story, a love story especially one, you have to make me invest in their story. That's just, so yes, I love this one. That is the end of the first 4 chapters, literally. That's how it ends. And you would think more would happen, and that's not me skipping over like a lot of stuff. That's literally the first 4 chapters and how they go. Which, like I said, I don't really like that, but I can give her that for the simple fact that the characters get developed very thoroughly. So yeah, the next one that we're gonna talk about is, oh my god, this one's my favorite next to JTPR, and that is Noah, the 5th Street Story, I think is what it's called, or 5th Street Series, sorry. And it is about Veronica Cruz and Noah, can't pronounce his last name, but he's like this fine as hell trainer at this gym that Veronica got signed up for with her friend. And so she had to take care of her sick and dying mom for 2 years, I believe. No, a year, sorry. And in that year, she kind of like lost it all. She lost her mom. That was not no 20 minutes, sir. I could have swore I pressed play. My dad walked in, so I gotta hurry up. But so Veronica wants to like get her stuff back together, because she like let herself go when she was taking care of her mom, and then after her mom passed, like she really let herself go. So now she's like a little bit on the chunky side, just like, yeah girl. And so like I can relate to what she was going through, and having a fine trainer. Anywho, so she's just like, so her friend signs her up for these training classes with Noah, and Noah's excited because these are his first clients that like are his own, because he finally was allowed to have clients and train clients. So homeboy's geeked, and so Nell, Veronica's best friend, trains with her for the first night, and they're like, she's like, we're gonna do this together, don't worry, like we'll get through this together, you're my girl, I got you. And the little thing about Nelly Nell is she got the asthmas. So after the first training session, like Nell has an asthma attack because she can't breathe. I mean, her asthma starts acting up, so she has an asthma attack. Hold on. But Nell is like, you have to promise me, Veronica, that you're gonna continue working out and going and training. And Veronica's like, okay, I promise you. Like, this is the one promise I make to you. Okay, so Veronica makes a promise to her best friend that she's gonna keep working out with Noah. And Noah's excited because he's like, this is my first people, my first people. That's not how he says it, but that's how I hear it in my mind. I just love the way that everything happens so seamlessly. I don't want to give any spoilers because I really want you guys to go out. Well, not go out, but I really want you guys to download Wattpad if you don't have Wattpad downloaded already. And I want you guys to read this story because the way the characters are written and the way that their relationship develops is so like seamless and flawless, and the author really did a good job writing it so that it was more realistic rather than like a lot of other stories that you'll read about trainers and whatever, or like just in general on Wattpad, like a lot of the other stories that you'll read on Wattpad, where it just like, it seems like a Wattpad story, but this doesn't give off that vibe, which I really, really like and appreciate, because I've encountered a lot of those, like, ugh, this is like just another Wattpad story I can pass on. So that one is a 10 out of 10 recommend, and it's a free one. You don't have to pay for it, unlike JTPR where you do have to pay for it. And I'm not really one to like read series because I'm like, I like this character, I'm just gonna read this character's story. But like even the conflicts that happen, like they just happen so naturally that like it works. Side stories, they work so much so that when it comes time for the next person's story, you'll be already invested in that character. Whereas I can't do that. I just can't. Like, I've tried. Once I dedicate my time and my mental to these characters, I'm not reading any other story because I just can't. Yep. Our fifth and last one. It's very taboo, but here's where I stand on this one. First of all, if you are in any way, shape, or form homophobic, this isn't for you. If I see any comments down below about this one, don't even waste your time, sweetie. Don't. Because, like I said, it's not for you. You don't have to judge what other people like. So it's not the story for you, and that's totally fine. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. There's just sometimes where your opinion is not needed, and is it necessary to give your opinion? So save it for that. This next story is called Breaking Finn. I really like this story because it like gives you that satisfaction that you can read about one of your less savory desires, which is like older guys. So like everybody has seen like an older guy that they're like, ooh, he's real cute, but like he's older, so you know like nothing will happen because you're not legal yet. But this one gives you that. So it is called Breaking Finn, and it is the story of Finn Jennings and Nicholas something Hispanic. I feel like he had like a very generic Hispanic last name because his brother, I believe, was Vasquez. But they have different dads, so their last names are different. But so this one, what am I looking for? So this one, not Jake. Oops. Finn is a 16-year-old boy whose mother just abandoned him because, you know, she became a druggie and whatnot after his father died. And she was 4 months on back rent and they got evicted. And because they got evicted, she just like ran off to Nevada, one state away, with her new boy toy and left Finn on his own. She's like, oh, Finn, you're grown, you're old, you can take care of yourself. And Finn is like this super duper smart kid who literally just wants to get away from home, get away from his mom and all his home issues so that he can like better his life and he doesn't have to deal with this anymore because his mom literally ignores him. And so one day he's going to going around downtown LA to find a job so that he can work over the summer because he just got out of school, so that he can work and pay his way to like get a place of his own. But he's in this restaurant when he is spotted by a very rich, very good looking Nick Nico. Yeah, Nico, who's having lunch with his brother. And that's so uncomfortable. Who's having lunch with his brother. And Nico's like, why is he by the kitchen? Find out who that is. And Nico's like, damn, that's a cute little boy.
Okay. Whatever that be.
Kind of gross, I know. I'm so annoying. So he calls him over and he's like, how old are you? And Finn, my Finny boy, he lies and he's like, I'm 18. And Nico's like,
Don't lie to me. How old are you?
and he's like,
Sorry, I lied. I am 16, but I'm very responsible and I just need a job. Like, I'll do anything. I just really, really, really need a job.
Nico's like, okay. Goes to the maitre d' and is like, get this boy something to eat, and in 20 minutes, bring him back. Which is exactly what happens. Maitre d' goes, gets him something to eat. Where's my lip liner? Maitre d' goes and gets Finn something to eat, and then he brings him back in 20 minutes, exactly 20 minutes. Cool. So, Finn, no, sorry, we backtracked, right? So, Nico's talking to his brother, and his brother's like, you know, you kind of seem a little off. Go to the club, one of the clubs that we own. Get you a boy, come back, or I don't know, get you a boy, go on Serenity, go on vacation. You know, I'm off to recuperate. My eyes are about to start watering. And Nico's like, you know what? You're right. I need me a new boy. But I don't want one from one of the clubs. I want some fresh meat that I can train and I can teach how to be the perfect submissive, because they're both dominants. When they see the boy, Finn, AJ, the brother, is like, Nico, he's a little young. And he's like, bro,
shut your bitch ass up.
I'm just kidding, he doesn't say that. I need to stop using that. I say that way too much. But Nico's like, no, he's perfect. Like, he's prime for the picking. I think that's what he says, if I remember correctly. It sounds like something he says. I think I support what I said. I said what I said. So he's like, this boy is perfect. Like, he's young, untouched. Anywho, they're talking about him in a kind of older way. I don't like Nico at first. I'm gonna be honest. He's just kind of gross. Which is weird, because I'm like, oh my god, this is like everybody's fantasy, you know, like a hot older guy. But when I talk about it, like, it's just like, this is so gross. But yeah, I just think that it's a very well-rounded story. Like I said, character development is everything, and all of these stories have very good character development for the characters that matter. Like, if it's somebody who's not really pivotal in what happens, they're not going to be developed well. If it's somebody that is, they're developed more. And I think that that's one of the things that just like makes all these stories more structurally sound, and makes me like them so much, because I'm very, very, very picky when it comes to these stories. Right now I'm working on a story that I really do not like, and I'm reading it because I want to do a video for you guys. So I am reading it and trying to go through it. It's very, very difficult for me right now, but that will be on my next looks and books. If you guys want to go ahead and read any of these stories, I will place a link down in the description box down below. And also, if you didn't notice, I had the titles and who they are by on the bottom of the screen while I was talking about those stories, so you can go ahead and click the links down below while you are going into the description box. Don't forget to look at the products that I was using if you are interested in any of the products that I was using. And don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Comment on this video if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of these types of videos. I have a lot more that are in the works.